Welcome to this demonstration of LibaidWallet, the integrated cash assistance management app. In this presentation we demo how Libaid, its partners and implementing vendors, can all use the LibaidWallet app to manage the full lifecycle of cash assistance projects in real-time integrated fashion. This includes beneficiary enrollment, with individual and bulk uploads, top-up policy creation with beneficiary assignment, requesting, approving and confirming receipt of funds to top-up wallets for beneficiaries, managing the printing, distribution and activation of QR code cards for all wallets, processing LibaidWallet transactions by vendor cashiers using the kiosk interface and maintaining a full detailed history of all transactions for audit trail, and finally, payment of all transactions using a structured and automated invoices and settlement generation system. Beneficiaries can be created by donors using single or bulk upload. To add beneficiaries, click on the Create Beneficiary button from the main menu. Beneficiary names are recorded in both Arabic and English. The donor ID is the donor-specific ID for beneficiaries, for example UNHCR group numbers. Contact information are required by Libaid, and will enable future notification features for beneficiaries. And finally, assigning a project and defining the type of beneficiary are required fields as well. Bulk uploads require the use of a pre-prepared Google Sheets template. The template has predefined validation fields for projects and beneficiary types, which are mandatory. Only a maximum of 1,000 beneficiaries can be uploaded from a single file. The LibaidWallet app is fully policy-centric. This means that all fund requests, wallets, top-ups, transactions, invoices and settlements are linked to one specific policy. Each beneficiary can have a single wallet per policy, but can be enrolled in multiple policies in the same project. Policies define the maximum number of wallets, and the funding amount per wallet. Each project can have one or more policies as required. This gives donors flexibility by defining an overall budget with specific funding policies according to operational requirements. Once created, the total policy amount is allocated towards the project budget. Project beneficiaries are enrolled into policies up to the total number of wallets defined by each policy. Beneficiaries enrolled into policies will have an unlocked status until a wallet is created and topped up for them. Allocated and remaining project budget is instantly updated on beneficiary assignment. Beneficiaries assigned to policies may be unassigned so long as a wallet was not created and funded for them in that policy. This means that donors have the flexibility to remove unlocked beneficiaries to make room for other beneficiaries according to their priorities. Budget allocation constraints make sure that donors are always operating within the approved project budget. A fund request is a direct top-up request for a selection of unlocked beneficiaries assigned to a specific policy. Funding requests provide granular control over cash assistance delivery by funding a policy with one or more fund requests. This means that fund requests can be implemented based on a schedule, or on an as-needed basis to remain flexible to operational requirements. Fund requests are prepared by donor protection staff or implementing partner staff, and approved by donor program managers with budget approval permissions. To prepare a fund request, donor staff select a policy to fund and then select unlocked beneficiaries assigned to that policy. Donor program and budget managers would be able to defer approval for a submitted fund request until they ensure that Libaid has the funds to top up the wallets. LibaidWallet automatically tracks the allocation of requested funds against the amounts committed and remaining for each policy, ensuring financial integrity by constraining funds requests to policy total amounts. A Libaid wallet is created and topped up with the policy amount when the Libaid finance manager confirms receipt or availability of funds from the donor. Where the funds are available, Libaid should be immediately able to confirm availability, thereby creating and topping up wallets for the target beneficiaries. Where the funds are not available, Libaid may withhold confirmation until the funds have been made available by the donor. This means that Libaid has safeguards in place to ensure that wallets are only created when the actual money to fund them is available in its bank account. At this stage, the wallets would be created and funded, but they are still inactive pending activation by the beneficiary themselves. Once a fund request has been marked and received by Libaid, the wallet is instantly created, digitally topped up with a policy amount, and a unique QR code is generated for the wallet. Libaid project staff would then be able to print the wallet QR code card according to a pre-agreed template between Libaid and the donor, and made ready for distribution. The card template is print-ready for plastic card printing, and Libaid staff would easily print the cards in the printer and distribute to the beneficiary. Throughout this process, none of the Libaid staff would be able to use these cards, and any incorrect activation would be logged in the audit trail. Wallet activation is processed by each beneficiary on receipt of their QR code cards from a Libaid staff member. When they receive their cards, beneficiaries would scan these cards in a module operated by a Libaid staff member, where only the beneficiary would be able to see the activation code on the screen. Once the beneficiary confirms the activation code by re-entering the displayed code, the wallet would be instantly activated and its status and current balance updated to Libaid staff members. The card is now ready for the beneficiary to use in participating vendor stores. Vendor stores participating in LibaidWallet projects would register store cashiers to use the mobile kiosk feature of the application to process LibaidWallet beneficiary transactions. Store cashiers scan the beneficiary QR code and ask the beneficiary to insert their PIN securely into the device. Once confirmed, the kiosk will show the available balance in the card, enabling the transaction to proceed. The cashiers will first use their own store systems to process the transaction and print a valid invoice receipt. With the receipt in hand, the cashier would enter the receipt amount as well as capture and upload a photo of the receipt. This is mandatory for the transaction to proceed. Once the receipt is uploaded, the cashier confirms the transaction and the beneficiary receives their transacted goods. Libaid project and finance managers can view, filter and print the full detailed history of all LibaidWallet transactions for a given project. The details include the transaction ID, amount, the status, the beneficiary names, the vendor name and specific vendor store name, as well as whether the transaction has been invoiced or yet to be. The transaction detail page also includes the receipt attachment for auditing and verification purposes. The transaction history may be filtered by a number of parameters, including the beneficiary name, vendor stores, and period range. Invoices are automatically created daily for each vendor store separately, including any still uninvoiced transactions for the given vendor store. Invoices can also be manually created by LibaidWallet finance staff to facilitate expedient invoice preparation and payment for vendors. Once an invoice is issued, an invoice document is automatically created and customized for the vendor, including an itemized list of all transactions to be paid as well as the relevant payment details assigned to the vendor store by the vendor. Libaid finance staff are able to view all invoices and drill down each invoice to its individual transactions for detailed review and audit purposes. Issued invoices are immediately ready to be paid through the final settlement process. With this, we come to the end of this current version of the demo. We are confident that the LibaidWallet app provides a sophisticated yet simple solution for cash assistance management projects in Libya by empowering Libaid with an advanced integrated tool that ensures financial integrity with its donors and operational flexibility with all its partners. Thank you for watching.